Do you know how to defuse a TNT or how to damage a wither from a distance? Stick around for 28 more explosive facts that you didn't hear of in Minecraft. They say a dog is a man's best friend, but after this you might just change your mind. You see, dolphins not only help you out when swimming or play with items floating in water, they will actually guide you in the direction of a treasure. Can a dog do that? We all know Endermen are experts at avoiding ranged attacks. Or are they? Let's make sure this Enderman doesn't have a safe spot to teleport to and see how he deals with being shot by the arrow. Funnily enough, he doesn't really even try to avoid it. The arrow just bounces off of him. Do you like playing a game of chicken or a game of stare down? Most of the mobs will either turn away or attack you, but our tall black friend here is a real champ. There is simply no way to win against him. He will stare at you and not even flinch until you look away. The fox is a sneaky little thief. It will not only jump over your fence and kill all of your chickens, but it will also steal whatever you hold in hand. If that thing just so happens to be a totem of undying, and you decide that ending its life is the only way to get it back, you'll be in for a surprise. The totem of undying will activate, so perhaps bribing them is the better way. If you have a sweet tooth and want something to nibble on, but you're concerned for your health, we have a solution for you. Cakes have a lot of sugar in them, but cookies on the other hand, surprisingly don't. This means they're a healthy option. Just make sure your parrot doesn't get to them before you do. What should you do if you get caught on fire while in the Nether? Well, with all of those valuables on you, dying there would be a big setback. So the best thing to do is quit the game. It will allow you for a second to breathe, and then when you log back in, jump into a cauldron with water or drink a fire resistance potions. Oh, you don't have any of that near you, do you? Well, unfortunately, exiting the game will not help then. Trees need air to grow, but what would happen if you plant a tree underwater? Under normal circumstances, nothing. Unless you're extremely fast with applying the bone meal. Or you can simply use random tick speed to create an underwater forest. If you're a fan of black cats, you're not the only one. Witches are as well. That is why some people think black cats bring bad luck if they cross your path. If you have a friend like that, then you can easily ruin his day by spawning a lot of cats into a witch's hut. Every cat spawned there will be a black cat. Always. TNT is such a destructive and yet fascinating block. You see, if you place it upon a slab of any kind, it will behave just like any block would. It will float above it. Now, we know that TNT exploding in water does no damage, but if a TNT explodes on a slab, it will deal significantly less damage to its surrounding, meaning some of your blocks will still be around. Here's the thing about Skulk. It spreads like a disease that consumes all blocks except slabs. If we start using that little brain of ours, we can use this to leave secret messages that will be seen and will last for centuries to come. With so many different types of pickaxes and enchantments that you can apply to them, knowing how durable something is extremely difficult. That is why Minecraft gods blessed us with this little trick. Press F3 and H in order to show the durability of your tools in total amount of blocks it can break. This way, you'll be able to make the most out of your tools. We all know that by putting a saddle on a strider and hopping on, you can ride safely across endless lava lakes of the Nether. But did you ever see a baby strider with a saddle and wondered if you can ride one? Well, if you do, surprisingly enough, you will absolutely not be able to ride one and will only burn to death. Remember when we said TNT was a weird block with how it behaves? Well, chains affect it as well, and the way they do is by not allowing any damage to the surroundings of that TNT explosion. Basically acting like a defusal. Do you think we'll have some more TNT facts for you? Having a full-on library around your enchantment table is cool, but unnecessary. In order to achieve maximum efficiency while enchanting, you will not need to own herds of cows and fields of canes. You can do much more with much less. 15 bookshelves is the minimum number you need in order to achieve enchantment level 30. So you thought that end portal frame is equal to bedrock? You thought that it couldn't be destroyed? Well, you were wrong. Plant a mushroom beneath it and give it plenty of love and some bone meal. In a split second, the frame will be gone and you'll have a nice little mushroom in its place. For any grow operations you run, you will need bone meal. And what is the best way to get it? Pretty easy. Find yourself a cherry blossom biome and marvel at all of those petals on the ground. Now pick them all up and throw them in a composter. Easy as that. What happens if a witch attacks a witch? You see, a witch not only harms you, but it also heals itself. So, what will happen if we manage to get two of them fighting? Who would win? Well, let's take a look for ourselves.
3 hours later.
Well, looks like they're still at it. Actually, nobody will win. You just created enemies for all eternity. Lighting an arrow on fire is easy. Just shoot it through a fire and it can light a TNT. But what else can be lit? Let's look at throwable items. Eggs? Snowballs paradoxically light on fire as well. But the wildest thing is the fishing rod. Don't believe us? Try it for yourself. One way to get rid of all enchantments off of items is with a grindstone, but not all. You see, everything except curses like vanishing and binding can be disenchanted, which can sometimes be very annoying. But there is one more thing beside that. A golden enchanted apple. Does that mean it's a form of a curse? Ever find yourself in the middle of the ocean at night? It can be quite scary with all of those drowned coming after you. How do you avoid this sticky situation when there is no land in sight? Well, pretty easy actually. Dive down to the bottom of the ocean and take a nap there. There are still no sharks in Minecraft, so you'll be perfectly safe. Trust me. Fighting a wither means that you'll have to go up close and personal when it enters its second phase. The reason for that is it becomes immune to arrows. Well, not necessarily. Listen here, you might not be able to hit it with arrows, but fireworks are still an option, so fire away and keep safe. Let's make an Olympic jumper out of a fish. Catch some in your bucket, or spawn them in if you're a cheater, and put them on a slime block. All of a sudden, when they start flopping and flipping around, you'll see them reach higher heights than ever before. Spiders are weird creatures. They only attack you when there is a lack of light, like at night or in caves. Some can poison you and others are just annoying and tend to stick to ceilings. But one thing that all spiders do have in common is that they actually kind of float around. Just go into spectator mode and look at them. They never really touch the ground. How weird is that? Whenever you have a colorful sheep, they give you that color wool. It doesn't matter if they're black, brown or white, they always do. But what about our party friend Jeb over there? He's a sheep and has the wildest wool color ever. Unfortunately though, whenever you trim him, you just get a wool block. Plain. LAs are cute, they fly around, and they are blue. Once you give them an item to hold, they will also follow you wherever you go. But what do you do if you get swarmed by zombies and your LAs are all around you? You might be worried you're going to hit them, but don't worry. As long as they hold an item, they will be safe from your deadly blows. One common tactic to fight a wither is to fight it underground, but that means that you will not be able to see its influence on the world. Next time, spawn it under the nice blue sky. Once you do, you'll quickly see the clouds change and become more ominous as the presence of the evil wither becomes apparent. Pretty cool, I'd say. Flower forest biomes are full of colors. All of the different types of flowers can be found here, and if you harvest all of them, you might want to regrow the plants. What you will notice is that certain blocks always produce one single type of flower. What is the best way to gather XP? Certainly killing the dragon, but that is a one and done deal. Coal is abundant, but it yields very little XP for the amount of work you put in. The gold middle is quartz. It is abundant and easy to find in the Nether. You might have to wear some blink to prevent piglins from hunting you, but I'd say it's well worth it.